Ah, fucking game. Unbelievable. I've probably missed some really good action as well. And Sergeant has crashed. What the hell? Well, if you're watching this, my game crashed. But I'm back now. But I got back and I just saw Sergeant crash. Sergeant is out of the race. Crashed on the main straight. I'm not sure why. So Tamara Fox leads the race and he's 3.5 seconds ahead of Ipswich. Gamer's moved back up to third, then we've got Parkway in fourth. And I assume Viper, who was battling these two, is pitted. Yeah, I think you might be right, Nick. It looked like lag to me. I'll look back at it in a minute. If someone can post this on, if someone can post this new stream on the forum, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, it looked like lag, Sergeant. Unlucky. Yeah, it's a shame. So you and Tamworth having a good battle at the front. Just annoying, also annoying my game crashed. Codemasters. Anyway, let's get back to focus. We're on lap 6 of the Chinese Grand Prix for PSGL's Formula 2. Tamworth, who qualified on pole position, has had a battle with Sargent, but unfortunately Sargent had an accident which may have been caused by lag, which has put him out of the race. So that puts Ipswich up to second in McLaren, with Gamer, the championship leader, who's seen his closest rival crash out of the race. But there's obviously a long way to go in this season. So the two Ferraris running third and fourth. It's good for the constructors. The Mayhem Madness in the Red Bull, steadily going along in fifth. Raiko in sixth. Jake in seventh. Raiko's done extremely well. Raiko started well down, but he's making the mediums work, so he's getting a good points position at the moment. As is Raskanite. So the medium runners, all going very well. And UK Tranquility in the Force India is also going well. So Viper in the switch to mediums, he's down in 12th at the moment, he's 42 seconds behind. Wow, he must have had a drive through. Oh, Fanis, that's a good point. Fanis is in 15th, so I'm not sure what's happened to him. But we'll go back to the front anyway, just going to see if there's any battling going on. So Tamworth Fox heading to the end of sector 1. Let's get to the better view. Ipswich in second, with developing a bit of a battle with Game Up. And then Mayhem Madness up to fourth. Raiko's in fifth now in the mediums. He's playing himself into contention here. So Parkway's pitted for mediums. Earlier pit stop for him, so he's obviously looking for the undercut. He's only yeah, so the leaders might want to think about pitting soon, because he's going to have a bit of an undercut on them. But with with Sargent's really bad luck there, Tamworth Fox, he's in a position where he can really control this race. Now I'll just see what happened to Viper, because I think he must have got a drive through. So Raskonite crashed out, Sargent crashed out, and yeah, Viper, I don't understand. Oh, Tamworth Fox pits. As does Ipswich, as does Gamer. So Ryko on the mediums takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Now, how far can he go on these mediums? I mean, Ryko, he started 17th on the grid. Well, I'm not sure about a one stop. We'll have to see. Obviously the medium runners will have to stop soon, and you know, Tamworth Fox comes back out of the pits in 4th. Now Tranquility is holding up Ipswich a little bit, but I think Ipswich will make short work of his former teammate from last season. So the two Ferraris. Now interestingly, Parkway didn't get the undercut, so he didn't make that work. So the Ferraris are sort of stuck behind a slow medium runner, so they're going to lose a bit of time. So it's worked out pretty well. So Game of the Best, looking for a move on Tranquility, which seems to be the battle at the moment. And well, Tranquility isn't making those mediums work, unlike some of the people in front of him, because easily passed by Gamer, and the other Ferrari, Parkway, I think will easily make mincemeat of him. So Tamworth Fox is running in 4th, net first really, only 9 seconds behind the medium runners who got in front of him, so he's in a good position. But Raskonite pulling out a gap. So Tamworth Fox now, who led the early stint of the race, now coming up to two people who are on older medium tyres, Samba Kid and Raskonite. That battling's helping Ryko get more of a gap to the rest. So there's going to be a good battle here, and oh, Tamworth Fox goes for a move on the outside. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to ruin his race after the promising start, but he's going to be losing time thanks to this squabble. But he's got the... He'll want to get past at least one of them, because both of them will... Well, what we could have a potential here is a free wide on the back straight, which is one of the longest in Formula 1, over 1 kilometre long. Let's see what happens now. So Tamworth gets a better run out of this. Samba Kid went a bit deep into a deeper line. So now Tamworth Fox pulls out, but look, Samba Kid gets the DRS as well, so he's unable to pass. So they go for again. Oh, and Tamworth Fox gets that move done, but I'm not sure what happened there. Samba Kid just suddenly spanned the car. So that allows Ipswich and Gamer, and now Gamer looking for a move on Ipswich on the outside with that slow Williams in front of them. Oh, surely he's got to back off out of that. And he's holding them up. This is all playing into the hands of Tamworth Fox, who's now right on the back of Raskonite. And Samba Kid now desperately trying to hold on to 4th place, but Ipswich down the inside, lock of tyres from Samba Kid. Oh, and Samba Kid maintains it, better traction out of the corner. And now Gamer looking for a move on Ipswich, the championship leader. So we got a Williams here who's got an absolute train of cars behind him, all on fresher medium tyres. Got the McLaren of Ipswich, Gamer and Parkway in the Ferraris, and I believe the Mayhem in the Red Bull. Well, it's like a gang of sharks that have smelt blood. I don't think Samba's going to have anything to defend this. Gets a better exit than Ipswich though. Can any of them get close? Ipswich. Oh, look at Gamer on the inside. This is a brilliant view, and now Ipswich goes down the inside. And Gamer will try to get round, so Ipswich gets through. The Samba Kid still maintains the place. So Ipswich, for now, breathing space to the Ferraris, but I don't think that will last long. And Samba Kid's trying to take back the place from Ipswich. All diving into the first corner, they're so close. Excellent, excellent action here. For what is 4th place, but what is actually realistically a net 2nd and 3rd for the cars outside of Samba. So we've got Gamer looking for a dive down the inside and squeezing him out, and Gamer gets just ahead. So Tamworth Fox has got past. So Ryko still going in the mediums, 7 seconds ahead of Tamworth Fox, who has disposed of the Force India of Raskanite. Ipswich now getting after. Ipswich and Gamer now getting after the Force India in the final podium position. And now Parkway Drive will probably be the next driver to overtake the Williams of Samba Kid. The top 8 is quite far ahead of the rest, but we'll check on them later. But now look at this, Parkway Drive getting the DRS, and he will surely sweep past. And now look at that ahead, Gamer going down the inside of Ipswich, and he gets it done with the DRS. And Parkway takes Samba Kid, I believe. Yes, he has. But Gamer and Ipswich lost so much time battling with the Williams and each other that Tamworth Fox is quite down the road. The Gamer and Ipswich now battling each other. It's not going to help their tyre wear on the mediums. And now look at this, Gamer and Ipswich side by side. Ipswich has to concede, taking a wider line. You can just see Tamworth Fox in the background. Samba Kid holding on to 6th place with Mayhem Madness, and there's Jake in the other Red Bull. Just behind him we've got Shortbread and Viper battling for the final championship points. They're in 9th and 10th. Further down we have Dougie and Askanite's finally pitted onto the softs. So he's gone out, and Fanis having a very quiet race. He's 42 seconds down. And Tranquility, he's pitted, he's well down as well. So starting the mediums hasn't worked for him. And Ryko still going on those mediums. Interesting. The battle looks like it's for 3rd right now, but he's got a wait. He's got a bit of a gap to Ipswich behind, so he's not going to be able to challenge even with the DRS. And as we've just seen, Mayhem Madness take 6th position from Samba Kid. I mean, Samba Kid must be getting close to thinking about a pit stop. He's been on those tyres since the beginning of the race, but he stays out. Jake in a lonely 8th, but he's getting caught a little bit by... Oh, and Shortbread goes wide and loses the place to Viper. And good evening to you, Lewis. So let's go back to the front. So, Ryko started 17th, has got himself into a position where he's leading the race. He does have to pit soon. Tamworth Fox is rapidly catching him though, so those medium tyres on Ryko's car must be going off a cliff compared to the fresh tyres that Tamworth has. So Gamer is around 4 seconds further back to Tamworth Fox, the championship leader. Earlier in the race we had Tamworth Fox and the Renault of Sargent battling, but Sargent unfortunately had a lag incident which caused him to crash, so very bad luck for that chap. So we've had some good battles between the McLarens and the Ferraris throughout this race. But Gamer getting a bit of a gap. It's still less than a second, but well, Raikko's taking about half, is losing half a tenth each sector now. So Tamworth will be on the back of him very soon. So Gamer, and now Parkway gets a good run from the final corner. It's went slightly wide, so Parkway closing in. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not going to go for a dive at this point. We see Gamer, Ipswich, Parkway, little to choose between these three drivers. So Tamworth Fox has now reduced the gap to 3 seconds. So Raikko, you know, he's really got to think about pitting, because the strategy was working to a point for him to get high up the field, but the longer he stays out, the more time he will lose in the pit stop. Pit stop is somewhere between 20 to 25 seconds here, depending on the speed of the pit crew. And Gamer now has a bit more of a gap has over a second gap now to Ipswich. I don't think Ipswich is going to get DRS this time. So let's join Parkway, riding on board him as we enter this epic 1 kilometre long back straight. And does Ipswich get DRS? I don't think he does. He's not going to have any defence at all. And the Ferrari of Parkway sweeps by for 4th place. All he's got to do now is get the braking right, and he's got this position secure. And he does. So we got Ferrari in 3rd and 4th. And Raikko still stays out. 15 laps. So he may be trying to go for a 1-stop, but that's very ambitious. Oh, goes really wide. Wait a minute, was that? Thought for a second he had a puncher, but he's okay. The Tamworth Fox is easing into this advantage that he did have. He was around 9 seconds ahead of Tamworth earlier, but that was only about 5 or 6 laps ago. But I do believe that Raikko is trying to stretch this out for a 1-stop. I mean, it'll be impressed if he does it, but it's going to be to the detriment of his race time. That's the only thing. 1-stops are one thing, but if you're going too slowly to make it work, there's no point. So Tamworth Fox will probably almost be in DRS range. So we'll get to the end of sector 2. The gap is now just over a second, so he won't get DRS. He might not need it, because if Raikko gets a poor exit of these badly blistered tyres, Tamworth Fox will get the slipstream. He goes defensive. I've really not had the best camera views today, have I? I haven't had one helicopter view. Oh, very wide from Raikko, and that allows Tamworth to get ever closer. And now Gamer is defending from his teammate in Ipswich. Gamer can't get away from these two. These three have been battling lap after lap. It's been great stuff. So Raikko now being challenged by Tamworth Fox, who is having an absolutely fantastic race in the Haas. Took pole position out of nowhere, really, in the soft tyres. And he's now in a position where, with the three behind him squabbling so much, he can control this race, but he's got to be careful. He's still got to get past Raikko, who's gone on a mammoth first stint on the medium tyres, longer than any of the other medium runners managed. And Parkway now defending from Ipswich, dropped back a little bit. I don't know whether that's on purpose, just to give Gamer a bit of space. Bit of team orders maybe? Well, we'll have to wait and see. And now Tamworth right on the back of Raikko, he should just be patient and wait for the DRS. Oh, he's been tagged. Oh, light tag here. Don't think he'll get ring damage, but I don't think Tamworth needs to do a move like that. He just needs to be patient and wait for the DRS because he's got such fresher tyres. He will easily sweep past Raiko, and he's going to anyway. And Tamworth takes the lead once again off the Chinese Grand Prix. The tyres of Raiko, it's been a great effort, but they've got to be screaming for mercy right now. Well, let's see if Raiko pits. I mean, he must be thinking about it. No, he still stays out. This is incredible. But I won't be surprised if those tyres blow up at some point. The Game of the Best has a bit of a gap, and Ipswich has got past Parkway. On the DRS, we were concentrating on the battle of the lead, of course, so I didn't see that. Ipswich takes a deeper line on the inside to go defensive. Parkway will have to settle for that for now. Mayhem in 6th, 7th for Jake, lonely race for him. Asconite in 8th, Sam Kid in 9th, who we saw earlier, battling with these guys, the front guys I mean. Tranquility in 10th, Viper, well, he's in 11th. Disappointing race from him, but I do think the decision to go on the super softs at the start definitely compounded that. Shortbread in 12th, then we've got Fanis in 13th, who's over a minute behind now, so he just hasn't had any pace today, which is unusual for him. Gordown 14th and Doug in 15th. So we started with 17 runners, and we had 2 retirements early on. One was some sort of Ollie, I think his name was. I think he had some sort of crash in sector 2, and then Sargent had a lag crash. Very unfortunate, because I think he would have been challenging for the race victory, no question about that. So Raiko, who's done 17 laps on these tyres, still stays out. And Raiko finally pits. So I think he's going for a one-stop, in my opinion. He's going to go on the softs and try and make those last to the end. So that promotes Gamer back up to 2nd place. It's 4.2 seconds behind Tamworth Fox. So now it's going to be interesting to see what the strategy is, because if they're thinking about switching to the soft tyres, they can do that soon. But if their tyre wear is good, they might be able to stretch it out just a little bit. Oh, Samba Kid's out of the race. And Shortbread comes in, so I'm just going to see where he crashed. Samba Kid leaves the session. Now is that going to trigger a safety car? There's Samba Kid. He crashed on the home straight. What a strange place to crash. Hasn't caused a safety car, so for now, lap 18, Tamworth Fox on the back straight continues to lead this race by 4.8 seconds to Gamer, and Ipswich in 3rd. Parkway has come in for soft tyres, so he's looking to undercut Ipswich here. So we'll see if Ipswich responds to that. Tamworth Fox, well, he can pretty much dictate when he comes in. And now Gamer and Ipswich come in for soft tyres. So let's see where Parkway ends up. Parkway just entering the final hairpin. Now is he going to beat? Now I'm going to stick on board with Parkway, because Gamer and Ipswich have come in for their final pit stops on the soft tyres. Now has the undercut worked for Parkway? Let's see. Racing down the home straight. It's a short pit lane here. And there's Gamer and Ipswich. So that worked for Ferrari. Parkway has jumped Ipswich into 4th. So that worked brilliantly to jump him ahead of the McLaren driver. And now Raiko has jumped both of these guys with his with the pit stop, but obviously he pitted slightly ahead, so Raikko will have to do slightly longer, but Raikko won't be stopping again. So now Tamworth Fox is now safe from anybody doing a late stop on the super softs and having that searing pace. So Tamworth Fox, you know, he should just pit now for the softs, because if he doesn't, then he will get undercut on those old tyres. And I think Tamworth Fox is straight into the pit lane, and he can just take his time. He doesn't need to rush this. Yep, I think that looks okay. Shortbread's left the session, so we've lost Shortbread. And I think and Raikko on a charge, and he's jumped Tamworth Fox. Raikko has made the undercut work, and he has jumped Tamworth Fox. So he's leading this race, so we're going to race to the end on these soft tyres. Wow, unbelievable from Raikko. Started 17th on the grid, and he's made his way through the field, and he had a huge... Raikko's tyres are going to be a lap older than Tamworth, so they will start to go off towards the end. So Tamworth Fox will have to see what sort of pace he has and what sort of pace Raikko has. But don't forget, the two Ferraris are menacingly in the background, thinking, hey, we want a piece of this action too. And Ipswich isn't far behind either, so we could have a massive five-way battle for the race victory in these closing laps of the Chinese Grand Prix for PSGL's Formula 2. But this strategy has been fascinating to watch from the various drivers. But Raikko, a real wild card here. We did not expect to see him in the race winning factor, but he has made this strategy work. So the question is, has he got the pace to keep in front? And also, as some people have commented on, will he have the tyre wear? But Parkway getting close to his teammate. Two Ferraris setting fast lap consecutively. Parkway the fast lap of the race at this point, right behind Gamer. So Ipswich 6 seconds behind, Mayhem 6th, Luskanite 7th, and Jake is in 8th. He's on the softs, and then we've got Viper, who's climbed back into the points. Vanos, who's again had an extremely quiet race, he's in 10th. Dougie Dude 11th, Tranquility 13th, and the rest of the field there. So Raikko leads the race. He's on a one-stop strategy. Tamworth Fox has closed the gap to 1.2 seconds. And then we've got Gamer, the championship leader, who will extend his championship lead whatever happens because of Sargent's retirement. So he doesn't have to push too hard, but he will want to, for the bragging rights of Ferrari, keep his teammate behind him. But I think Parkway will want to get past him to challenge for the race victory. And now Tamworth Fox, he's in the DRS, goes very defensive. Raikko weaving a little bit, but Tamworth is going to have the DRS open, and he takes the inside. Now can he just get the braking right? Squeezes on the brake pedal, and perfect. Perfect, almost apex. Go on the curb a little bit, but still had the traction. And Tamworth Fox retakes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. And Parkway Drive's got in front of Gamer. I suspected that might happen because they were very closely together. So we're going to have two battles. We're going to have Gamer and Parkway battling for the final podium, because they may squabble too much to actually challenge the leaders now. But Tamworth Fox, I'm not sure if he's ever won a race in PSGL before. If anyone can fill me in, that'd be great. But in terms of this season, he's on course at the moment for a sensational win here at China. But he's got to break the DRS, because if he doesn't, Raikko's going to fancy his chances of getting back in front. So the two Ferraris. Well, Ipswich's pace on these soft tyres has definitely dropped off. He's dropped back considerably from the leading four cars, so I don't think he's going to be a factor now. So Tamworth Fox, 8 tenths. So there is DRS available for Raiko, but Tamworth is carrying more speed. I think he's got lower drag than Raiko, so I don't think, even with DRS, Raiko's going to be anywhere near close enough. There's a back marker ahead. I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be Shortbread's ghosting Williams. Is it ghosting? Yes, it's still ghosting, so it should easily be able to get past. Thank you for that, Connor. But it'll be his first win of this season. But Raiko hasn't given up yet. He's still there, less than a second behind. The two Ferraris, I mean, this is going to be really good for the constructors, for them. We'll have a look what the constructors' point situation is. So at the moment, yeah, Ferrari are going to take a commanding lead of the constructors because Renault have had a very poor day. With Sargent retiring and Fannis way down the order, Ferrari are going to score a lot of points here today. But Sargent will be happy that Gamer isn't taking as big an advantage of his retirement as he could have done. But he will extend his lead once again. He had a 10-point lead, so he will now, if he finishes 4th, he will gain another 8 points, so he'll have an 18-point lead in the championship. And yeah, I think Tamworth Fox has now got all the gap in DRS, so he's just got to manage his tyres and he will win this race for Haas. Just seeing, where would he... Tamworth Fox is 6th in the championship at the moment, so those 16 points will put him 3rd or 4th in the championship, I believe. Now Parkway Drive is getting away from Gamer. Now let's just see, I'm just going to compare the lap times of Raiko and Parkway on their last lap. So Raiko did a 1:37.7 and Parkway did a 1:37. Yeah, so they're very similar lap times. So the more laps we do, those tyres are going to go off. So Parkway is around 1.5 seconds behind Raiko. So I think the battle for second may not be over yet. Ipswich is back in 6th. I will check penalties in a couple of laps, but just enjoying this. Actually, I won't check them. There's no point now. Let's just enjoy the on-race action. I mean, for Tamworth, I mean, for this track, I think unless you go off the actual track limits a lot, I think it's very difficult to get penalties here, even with straight corner cutting. I think there's a couple of corners where you can get it, like the penultimate turn of Sector 2. That's one you can cut, but yeah, I shouldn't expect too many penalties if they've been driving to their ability. So Raiko dropping back by a few tenths a lap now, and probably not closing considerably. Now Tamworth actually dropped a bit of time there, 4 tenths in that final sector, so Raiko's got it back down to 1.3. And Parkway in 3rd, and Gamer in 4th. Still pretty close. Ipswich, I think he's settled for a steady 5th. And Mayhem Madness is on the mediums, but I don't think those tyres will really... They'll be fresher perhaps, but I think he's a bit too far away from Ipswich now. And well, I believe Fannis has made his final stop, so he's fallen even more behind. So Renault are not scoring any points today by the looks of it. Now interestingly, Raikko's now taken another 10th out of Tamworth. End of sector 2. Oh, he's taken... Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it's gone back up to 1.5 seconds, so I thought for a second he was closing it, but no, my mistake. So Tamworth Fox, I think for him, it looks like Raikko has good speed in the first 2 sectors, but doesn't have the low wing setup for this final sector. Tamworth Fox has just pulled away from him every single time with that bit. So Parkway dropping back, so I think the Ferraris, not sure they're holding position, but I don't think they're going to challenge Raikko now. With 3 laps to go of this Grand Prix. And Tamworth Fox, well, he got pole position and he's looking like the race win, so the almost perfect race session for Tamworth Fox. Probably not a race winner choice that anyone had in mind going into this, but he's certainly given everyone a big message that he could be a potential title challenger as the season goes on. But we shall see. It's only round 3, of course. Yeah, and I think, judging by the way Raikko's going around his corners, I think he's probably settled for second now, because I think unless Tamworth makes a big mistake or his tyres go, which is unlikely, then it's going to be these positions. Now, Gamer has got past Parkway. I didn't see that, unfortunately. It's gone straight in the front, so that must have happened. Parkway must have made a mistake somewhere. So can he close the gap back to his teammate, or maybe it's team orders for the championship? I don't know. Parkway is closing the gap, so they might have a bit of a scrap late on. But yes, now if I was to select a driver of the day, then there's only one choice, and it's this guy I'm on board with. Started 17th, has made a one-stop work here at China, which is unbelievable given how severe the tyre wear is here. So he's done a very, very good job. Because it's not easy, even though you get the fresh tyres, you still got to avoid all of the midfield. You've got to get past them, just keep it clean. So he's done a great job in that respect. So we're on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix now. Oh, wait a minute. Something happened to Parkway. Did he pit? Wow, something happened to Parkway. He's just suddenly dropped massively, and he's down to 6th. Doesn't have a puncher. Guess. Let's see. Did he make a? Just want to see what happened to him. Well, he did a 146 on that 26. He must have made a massive error somewhere. But I guess only Parkway will be able to tell us what happened. So the game is going to be on the podium, so it's going to be a good result for him in the championship. Although Ferrari will be disappointed they didn't get both cars in their positions. There's another. Ah, you're right. I think Parkway is thinking, right, I can't win this, let's try and get the fastest lap of the race. So that time just seemed very short to include a pit stop. But I know it's a short pit lane here. So we enter the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix for PSGL's Formula 2. Tamworth Fox, he's been in control pretty much since the beginning, helped massively by Sargent's unfortunate lag crash, but since then he's just controlled it very nicely, and even when the superb strategy by Raikko jumped ahead of him, he had the pace to catch him up and pass him on the back straight, and it wasn't challenged after that. See if there's any battles going on the last lap. Ipswich in 4th, Mayhem in 5th. I think Parkway's going to try and steal the fastest lap on the last lap. That's the only reason Or maybe his tyres are actually legitimately going. So, Tamworth Fox, number 10, in the American Haas car, on the back straight, the Toro Rosso of Raikko behind him for the last time, heading towards the heavy braking area of the hairpin. He can smell the victory. It is nearly in his hands. Just needs to keep it steady on the throttle and not make a big mistake into the final corner. And assuming he doesn't have penalties, he will win the Chinese Grand Prix. A superb drive from the Haas driver. And Raikko crosses the line, a sensational second place for Toro Rosso. And here comes Gamer, the championship leader, a podium for Ferrari, extend his championship lead. And I believe Ipswich will be 4th and Mayhem 5th. And Parkway's ghosting as he left the session. Oh, he's run out of fuel. Or has he run out of fuel? Yeah, it looks like he's run out of fuel. Wow. He's going to cross the line in 8th, so he was battling all the way. But yeah, disappointing end to the race for him. He must have run out of fuel. But anyway, Viper, well, it didn't work out for him. Started on the front row, finishes a low 9th in the end, so I think, you know, he'll be satisfied with the qualifying, but the race didn't quite go the way he wanted. And UK Tranquility looks so, yeah, he's going to gain the final point. Didn't see much of Tranquility, to be honest. One of a few of the traditional fast horses in this division who didn't really have the pace today. Oh, and Fanis, well, that just about sums up his race, to be honest. He's got a puncher. Wow, he's got a double puncher. A double puncher to finish Fanis's race. Oh well, be a miracle to get that home. And yes, as Connor said, yes, it is indeed his first point of the season, so it's a good result. Fanis, well, a double puncher. I think the images speak for itself, really. And he's the final finisher. So, here we are. The race is over, and Tamworth Fox wins the Grand Prix. We got Raikko in second with that amazing one stop from 17th on the grid. My driver of the day. Gamer completes the podium. Then we got Ipswich in 4th, Mayhem 5th, Jake 6th, Raskanite 7th, Parkway in 8th, who had those problems at the end. Viper in 9th. UK Tranquility completes the final point. And fastest lap goes to, I believe Tamworth Fox got the fastest lap as well. So he had pretty much the perfect race session. Pole position, fastest lap and the race win. Wow, you can't say more than that. So I'm going to invite those three in for the post-race interview, so give me a moment, but I hope you enjoyed that race, because I certainly did. But I won't forget to do the audio. Oh, that was weird. Right, just sending invites to everybody. Right, and then I need the. I think he might have gone offline, unfortunately. Right. So, hey gamer, talk to you shortly. Just make sure your chat audio is set to shared, please.
Yeah, it should be.
Just gonna wait on the second place finisher for a minute. Hopefully, I'm not sure he might. I know he left the lobby, but hopefully he didn't go offline. Yeah, I'll get you and Mayhem in a bit, Jake. For further interviews. Okay, we'll give another 20 seconds for second place, and then we'll do it. But I have to say that was a really, really good race, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers. That was
Scary race.
it was, yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word to put in there. It wasn't easy.
Right,
I'm good
right
the
then.
Sergeant though.
Right, so Tamworth Fox, you are the winner of the Chinese Grand Prix for PSGL's Formula 2. Big congratulations on that. So, how do you feel after winning that race?
I'm very happy with it. Not gonna lie, I can't say it's well, a win's a win, isn't it? So I'm gutted for Sergeant because it was so tight up at the front with me and him, and it was such a shame that it happened that way.
Yes, it was bad luck for him, but you have to be satisfied with pole position, and I believe you got the fastest lap and the race win. So,
How did I? Oh, well, I'm happy with that as well then.
I have to check that, but I believe it was your. But so was this down to the setup? I mean, if you've been practicing this track a lot, because this result compared to your first two races was quite a big step up from those opening two races.
It was, wasn't it? Australia was a bit of a write-off, so I was coming to this race hoping for something more anyway, to get myself at least one place higher in the championship standings.
Now, you had quite the battle late on with the second place driver, who attempted and actually successfully did a one-stop strategy on China, which impressed a lot of people. So when he jumped you in the pit stops, were you sort of surprised to see another car in front of you at that point?
Well, I initially thought, oh, he's gonna go to like lap 14 or 15, and then do two lots of soft tyres or something like that. So I passed him around that point, and then I stopped looking at him. I just focused on me and my tyres and everything like that. And I was looking more at whoever was in third and fourth, hoping that they were battling it out a bit. And then I saw them two come into the pits, and little did I know that actually he went into the pits a lap before. So he came out on some fresh softs, and I was almost shocked. I thought, oh no, the wind's gone.
Yes,
So,
but I think looking at these sector times, he seemed to have the pace in sector 1 and 2, but I don't think his wing setup was as low, because on the straights you definitely had him every time.
I did notice I was catching him overall round the lap, but it was very intense. He was a good 10 seconds in front when well, after the first round of stops, and then coming up to the second stops he was about 4 seconds behind, but I didn't realise he pitted 2 laps before me.
Yeah.
Then he was in front.
Well, unfortunately we can't get his thoughts because he's not here. So moving on to Gamer, who finished third, which follows up his 2 victories in Australia and Bahrain. So Gamer, you had some great battles with Ipswich and your teammate Parkway throughout the race. So are you quite satisfied with the podium, or do you think you could have got more?
I'm very satisfied with the podium, yes. It's a bit disappointing for Parkway. Had to make a late pit stop because of tyre wear.
Yeah, did he run out of fuel at the end of the race?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought so.
because he was obviously really annoyed that he had to pit again, and then probably lost complete concentration. And and ended up having run out of fuel. But I had to 4 laps from the end. I was on about 60 something percent tyre wear. It was just so scary. I had to go so slow around the last few laps just to make it to the end. But thankfully, just about made it.
Yeah,
on literally about 80 something percent.
Yeah, that's good. So obviously, Sargent's bad luck has enabled you to extend your championship lead. So after 3 races, you've had 2 wins and a podium. Do you consider yourself a title contender? You must do, surely.
Yeah, well, I definitely consider myself a contender, yes. But
Good.
as well as, Sargent's definitely going to be someone to battle. Ipswich as well, he's pretty consistent all the time. So yeah, it should be still a pretty good championship.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. So up next, round 4, we have Hungary. So Tamworth, following up from this performance at China, is Hungary a track you're strong at, and what sort of result would you like to aim for there?
Oh, so that is a good question. I haven't really done much running around Hungary on this game, believe it or not. I used to love it on 2015, but that's going to be a new challenge completely. I just look for a good score in that race.
Yeah, and the same question to you, gamer.
Same. I've not really done much running around Hungary, particularly on this game, but guess I'll just aim for at least a podium and then see how it goes, whether I'm quick or not.
Yeah. Well, Hungary, of course, is slightly tricky to overtake on and be lower downforce setups. So it should be another intriguing race for what has been another good race for this division. So congratulations, guys, on your results today, and we will see everybody in Hungary for the next round. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.